In today's story, I'm going to tell you about the time my dad shot up the restaurant that we owned. And welcome to Storytime, where I talk about all of the crazy traumatic experiences I had growing up. And so on this particular day, I was maybe about 15, 16 years old or so, and we had a Vietnamese restaurant in St. Louis, Missouri. And, my dad's lost a couple restaurants before, and when he opened this one, he had high hopes for it. But he was kind of an asshole, right? So he's one of those guys where, he would not be happy if we had a lot of customers, and he would be extremely unhappy when we didn't have customers. And so, mind you, during this time, throughout the day, he'd be in the back cooking, and my mom would be the waitress in the front. So it was just the two of them running the entire restaurant. And throughout the day, my dad would be smoking cigarettes, cooking food, and he would go through about a 30 pack of beer daily. So to say he was an alcoholic was an understatement. But he's been through a lot of stress. I totally understand it. But towards this time of my life, we were about to lose the restaurant. We were in talks with some people to take over the restaurant. And when I say take over, it means that they don't pay us anything. They literally just take over everything we have. It was kind of like a bankruptcy type of deal. And so it might have been like 10 o'clock at night or so. We were just closing down the restaurant. I was 15, 16 at the time, so I drove my mom and my brothers and sisters home. And my dad was acting real crazy that day. He was more somber than normal. I mean, he's always been depressing, but he was real somber. And he wouldn't talk much. And I was like, hey, Dad, I love you. I'll see you later. You going to be cool? Like, I'll come back and pick you up later. And so he's like, yeah, just take your mom, but, just stay out for a while. I'll be here for a minute cleaning up and, closing down the restaurant. And so I thought nothing of it, So I went home, did my thing with my mom, took her to a place called Steak and Shake. We had some dinner, brought it home and fed my siblings. So I was at home hanging out, and a few hours went by, and I'm like, man, it's almost 1:30 in the morning, and he hasn't called me to pick him up. So I'm like, I don't know if he's okay or not. So I keep on calling him, no one answers. So I drive back up to the restaurant. And when I pull up to the front, the whole restaurant's dark. So I figured, oh, maybe he closed down and he's walking around somewhere. When I tell you dark, it was pitch black. All the curtains were closed. And so I was kind of scared, I'm not sure what was going on. So I kind of creaked the door open.